Refugee is someone who ran away from their country to another country because of war.
John is Sudanese and has lived half his life in this refugee camp in Kenya.
Refugee means having to run. To run from where? From your own country.
Srezor is from Cambodia. She and her family are now refugees in Thailand.
Here in Denmark, I feel safer than in Afghanistan. I believe that I won't get killed here.
Mina's family fled from the war in Afghanistan and came to live in Denmark.
It's when you flee from your country and go to another country where they call you a refugee.
Damir and his cousin Medin used to be refugees, but they have recently returned to their homes in Bosnia and Herzegovina. Just imagine if today you and your family were forced from your home. With only the clothes on your back, you had to run for your lives, not knowing where to find help or safety. Once you found a place to stay, you might have to start life all over again in a new country, where even the language and alphabet might be different, and where you feel like a stranger. That's what it's like to be a refugee.
It was hard. I cried because I was leaving my home.
We got on a bus and went to the first place. When we arrived there, we were hungry. We had nothing to eat because all our food was left behind. The people told us to go to the next town. When we arrived there, they said there was no place for us.
During the war in ex-Yugoslavia, millions of people had to flee and take refuge wherever they could. Like so many who left, Damir and Medin believed that they would never see their homes again.
I thought we would never return here because they told us to be ready in 2 hours and that a bus would be waiting for us.
I brought some things when we left. I took the radio, photos, and some blankets, so we would be covered when we went to bed.
The families finally found a place to stay in a different town, but they never really felt like they belonged there. For 3 years, they longed to return to Kobash, their hometown.
For me, Kobash, it's my place. I was born here. I have a river here, a school and a football stadium, and a lot of friends.
What I miss the most about Kobash is the river Sava. My friends, I miss the school because the other one wasn't the same.
When school is out in the summer, the boys meet up with all their old friends at the river, where they play games and swim just like they used to do. Their days spent as refugees seem far away, but they haven't forgotten what it was like.
I think the worst thing is when the other children start teasing you and call you refugee. And when you go to school, they start shouting, "Look, here comes the refugee." I think that's it.
Damir and Medin will soon rejoin their old friends at school. Their story has a happy ending, but this isn't always the case. Often when families flee, they cross a border into another country, and they live in a refugee camp. Living like this isn't easy or fun. Sometimes refugees have to stay in camps for a long time before they can go home.
There were some aeroplane bombing people up, and there were some vehicles shooting people while people are down.
After a 2-month journey, John and his mother arrived in this refugee camp in Kenya. His father decided to stay behind in Sudan to protect their farm. The only thing John could take with him were his memories.
I remember my father and my father's farm, and I remember eating fruit and playing with my friend.
Life in the camp was different. Instead of farms and forests, it was mostly rocks and sand.
I like playing football, I like swimming, I like roaming in the forest. But in Kakuma, there is no swimming pool, there is no forest to go and roam in.
In refugee camps, possibilities are limited for the people to work and support themselves. So, like John and his family, most refugees at Kakuma camp depend on a certain amount of food given to them every 2 weeks. And sometimes this isn't enough.
We only eat once a day. We eat only ungari and linto. When I go to school, I have some hungry feeling in my stomach.
Tomorrow, John's family will run out of food and they won't eat. But today, his sisters grind the last of the grain. Their family doesn't have money to buy meat, fruit or vegetables. They eat their one meal at night, and when dinner is finished and the fire is out, it's time for bed.
My baby can, first I sleep, I wake up and I brush my teeth, I wash my face and I go to the tap to collect water.
Collecting firewood and fetching water are part of the daily routine. After John fills up at the tap, he's off to school. John only started to learn English when he began school at the camp.
Yes. It advertised the book. It advertised the book, you see. It advertised the book.
School is okay, but John likes playing football better. For refugee children, playing sports also requires imagination. What can you make with a rubber glove?